So I'm recording. Okay, so welcome to the ONOS Nightingale Sprint 5 planning. Hopefully it should be a quick one here today. Let's take a look at the JIRA. Okay, so we populated only some of the sprints this time because the like virtualization and gRPC are dormant. I've contacted Claudine and she said that past sprints they were not able to do anything, and this sprint they won't be able to do anything either. And I haven't heard anything from Jean, but I'm assuming that it's similar in a similar state. So with that as a preamble, let's start taking a look at the various scrums in order. So, Jordan, do you want to take the platform? SSU.
Yes. So the top two issues are bugs that we found in debugging sessions last week. So these are issues that are mostly fixed. They're just being tested now. They're really important to the stability of the cluster. And then the rest of the issues I have on here are for ongoing ISSU work. We're actually having brigade meetings tomorrow and Thursday, so I think we're going to be modifying this a bit once we assign more tasks to other brigade members. So it's sort of ongoing developments as far as ISSU issues are concerned.
Okay. Thank you. We don't have anybody here to speak to the P4 runtime. So I'm not sure how to cover this actually. I think Carmel should be back, right?
So
Thursday, I guess. Can you cover that?
So a lot of the work around P4 is going to be focused on getting INT working for the ONS demo. So currently the WC demo is focused on getting the serving and packet gateway functionality offloaded with integration of the P4 fabric. What's happening is that with ONS, there's going to be an additional INT element to it, where what we're looking at doing is adding a couple of netcope servers that will act as INT source and sink. And then it'll essentially send 100 gig of traffic through the fabric with the barefoot leaves acting as INT transit nodes. And so it'll add headers to it, and then they'll be able to pull it off of the sink and then send it to the barefoot deep insight server. So that's a lot of the work that is going to be there. And then you recently also added the fabric.p4 right up to the wiki. And then I think the rest of this you're going to see is some of the work that the community is doing around adding like P4 runtime meter support. So those are kind of the basic things that are going on for the next little bit.
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, Utah's not here to speak to the dynamic config stuff, so let me try to cover that. I think there must be more work to it than this, because it looks like it's only the Huawei work on Yang tools and RESTCon filter. Okay, I'll have to talk to Utah about the DCS work itself, because this looks just like only the adapters from the Yang tools, which just continues on the previous sprints. But to me, it will be more interesting to see what they're doing with the dynamic config stuff. I don't think the planning is finished with this yet. So I'll talk to Utah and to Iowa and wait to start a sprint, because to me this is not quite finished. All right, on the QA side.
Okay. So according to what we learned from the trialist team, the highest priority is to make sure all the second routing, the routing feature tests pass with one job. So the first two stories are talking about investigating all the failures in second routing tests. And then Pierre is here. We'll be working together on implementing the multitask feature of second routing. I mean the testing part. And then we'll continue work with Comcast for setting up the test with hardware devices. And then we also have some other tasks that Jeremy will be working on that is related to wiki, graph, and documentation improvements. We'll probably add more tasks depending on when we'll get the new hardware deployed for our own test with hardware.
Okay. On the GUI side, this is out of time zone for Stephen. So I've talked to him in the past week. He's working, basically he's continuing to work on bringing up the topology 2 in line with functionality of the existing topology view, to be able to show bad links, to allow the overlay applications to extend the various parts of the UI, specifically the summary panel, and also to and the device details. I think I'm not familiar with the last two, the cycle device layers and the node layers. Oh, I think it has to do with the multiple layers within, let's say, the optical. An example of this would be optical topology, where we show the topology in various layers. With the new topology view, the layers are actually not limited to just 2, so there can be multiple of them. And this is what he means by cycling through different layers to be able to highlight devices which are in those different layers. Okay, that's what that means. Just figure it out. Yeah, as I mentioned, nothing was done on gRPC or virtualization. I think it'll stay that way, so I'll probably just close those sprints. And otherwise, that looks like that's it for the sprint. Anybody has anything else? Did I miss anything, Ian? Okay. Well, with that, I will start the sprints like in about an hour or so, with the exception of the DC one after I talk to you then. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
11 minutes.
That.